first time I ever heard of Benjamin Farmer was in an email from High Point University. In the email, I was informed of my fall roommates, and I was excited that one of them was actually from North Carolina, the other two being from Massachusetts and Pennsylvania. I met him the first day of summer experience with our parents, and we struck up a friendship that has been beneficial to both of us during this collegiate adventure. While getting to know each other, I discovered a trip he had made to Spain in which an unexpected celebrity made a surprise appearance. Benjamin's father works for Protective Life Insurance, and based upon his performance, the company awards him with an all-expense-paid trip to a destination of their choice.
He works with this company in insurance. It's Protective Life Insurance, and they go on these annual conventions every 1 to 2 years. This year, we were going to Spain, in Barcelona. Checked into the hotel and whatnot, and then the next day I went downstairs and was just like walking around the hotel, and like these limos pulled up, and I was kind of freaked out because I didn't know what was in the limos or who was in the limos, I should say. And then like these bodyguards stepped out of the limo, so I kind of went back into the room. I didn't want to like mess with them or anything. I didn't want to get shot or beat up or whatever.
Soon after, Benjamin began to question the hotel employees about who was staying at the hotel, and their roundabout answers gave him a pretty good idea of who was there.
In the next few days, I started seeing posters for The Dark Knight around town. They were all in Spanish, so I saw the poster, I knew what it was, but I couldn't read any of it. And then I started hearing a rumor around the hotel that the stars were staying at the hotel, like Christian Bale, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Michael Caine, and Aaron Eckhart were there, for sure. It was the first time I actually had a chance to meet a famous person. And since I really liked the movie, I wanted to figure out how I could get in touch, or like how I could meet him or whatever. So one day I went, and they were guarding the stairs because they were doing international interviews downstairs. And I asked the girl that was like guarding the stairs, and I was like, so what time do you think they would come up, or what's going on down there? And she was telling me, oh, it's international interviews, they'll be there for a long time, but if you want to come back around 6-ish, they have to come up around that time to go get ready for the premiere, which was like down the street at this really huge theater. I waited for I think 2 hours, and then went down to the back elevator that they were coming up on. The first person that came out was Aaron Eckhart, and we talked to him for 5 minutes or so, and he was joking around with us. I didn't know his name, his actor, so I called him Harvey Two-Face the whole time because I didn't know what his name was. He was real cool about it. He was just talking to us like, hey, what's going on? And then he jokingly was like, so are you guys going to the after party? And we're like, oh man, can we go? And he's like, no, that's private, so don't worry about it. It was real funny though. We signed autographs, and then he went on and went to go get dressed. So we waited around for another 10 minutes or so, and my friend was just messing around with a pen, and he had already been joking. He'd go walk around the corner and be like, oh hey, Christian's coming around the corner, and we knew he wasn't. So he was messing around with his pen, and he drops it on the bottom floor. So he runs all the way down with international interviews that were going on. He runs all the way down there, and then he runs back up. He's panting when he comes back up, and he goes, Christian Bale is coming up in the elevator right now. And he's been joking us the whole time. So we're like, no, shut up. We've heard enough. In a few seconds after I was in mid-sentence, no, he's not. And then a ding on the elevator, you could hear it. And then out comes 4 bodyguards, and in the middle of them was Christian Bale. And so the guy that ran down and got his pen, he said, holy crap, it's Batman. And he looks up, and he comes over to us, and he goes, hey, what's going on? And they were sitting there frozen. I was sitting there, I was like, holy crap, I was in awe because I didn't know what to say or anything. So we talked to him, and he was talking about how the movie should be a pretty big success, and I told him, I was like, yeah, I saw it right before I came here. He said, oh, so you saw it in the States? And I said, yeah. And he said, did you see it in IMAX? I said, no, I didn't see it in IMAX. He said, you should definitely go see it in IMAX, and it would definitely change the experience. And then we kept on talking about just random stuff. I never got around to asking him what it was like working with Heath Ledger. So we finished talking to him, and I guess we talked to him for about a good 10 minutes. It was just a really good conversation, and just asked him what he was doing, and then after he left, and the bodyguard, they took all of our pictures with him, and he signed autographs and everything. So after he left and went upstairs to go get ready for the premiere, I was walking behind the group of them, and little did I know, when I stopped and sat down, Christopher Nolan, the director, was walking right behind me, and at that time I didn't really know his name. But I knew his name, but I didn't know what he looked like, because usually you don't see the director at all unless you really research a movie. So I didn't know who he was. I just knew his movies, like The Prestige and now Dark Knight. So I sat down, and one of my friends tapped me on the shoulder. He's like, "That was the director that just went." I'm like, "Ah!" And I regret every day not turning around and talking to him, because he went on to direct Inception, which turned out to be a really incredible movie, and then he'll be doing The Dark Knight Rises, which comes out supposedly next summer or next fall, something like that. So they're filming now. But yeah, that was probably the coolest thing that happened to me on any trip that I've ever.
Benjamin also has a very high interest in the movie business. Not only does he watch movies, he researches them. He knows all about them, the directors, the actors. He's such what you would call a movie guru. This is just one of many stories that you may hear throughout your lifetime. That just goes to show that anything unexpected can happen at any given moment. Benjamin probably didn't expect to see anybody when he went over to Spain, but Christian Bale made a surprise appearance that affected his life. Benjamin and I are still close friends. We've gotten even closer since I began this interview. And throughout some experience, although I've had some trouble finding friendship among these people that I've never met before, he's been there for me, and I appreciate it.